she declared. Your kids' trust funds are just sitting there while mine have nothing. I said nothing, just showed her the statements how she emptied them. When her parents found out where the money really went, I, 38 male, am sitting in my home office staring at bank statements that make me sick to my stomach. My wife Veronica, 35, of 4 years just stormed out after I confronted her with evidence that she's been stealing from my children. Background: I have 2 kids from my previous marriage, Lily, 14, and Noah, 12. Their mom passed away from cancer 6 years ago. Before she died, her parents, kids' grandparents, set up education trust funds for both kids. Nothing crazy, about $50 each that they'd been contributing to since birth. Meant for college, trade school, whatever path they chose. When I married Veronica, she brought 2 kids, Jade, 13, and Aiden, 11. I've tried to treat them equally, pay for their activities, clothes, everything from our household income. But the trust funds were specifically from their maternal grandparents, completely separate. Veronica's always made comments about the unfairness of my kids having this money. I've explained repeatedly that I didn't create these funds, can't just redirect them, and her kids have 2 living parents who could save for them if they chose to. The red flags started about a year ago when she became obsessed with getting added to the trust accounts for transparency. Said as their stepmother, she should know what's happening with family money. I resisted but eventually caved because she wore me down with constant arguments about trust in marriage. Stupid. So stupid. Last week, she sat me down for a serious talk. Said we needed to address the inequality in our home. Her exact words: your kids' trust funds are just sitting there while mine have nothing. It's not fair that they get to go to any college they want, while my babies might struggle. I tried explaining again that this money came from their deceased mother's parents, not me. That's when she hit me with, well, maybe we should use some of it for family expenses now. The kids can take loans like everyone else. That set off alarm bells. I told her absolutely not, and asked why she was suddenly so concerned about theoretical future college costs. She got defensive, started yelling about me not caring about her kids, then stormed off to her sister's house for the night. The next morning, I logged into the trust accounts. $87,000 missing, between both accounts. My hands literally shook as I downloaded every statement from the past year. Systematic withdrawals starting small. $500 here, $1,000 there. Then bigger chunks, $5,000, $8,000. The most recent? $15,000 just 2 weeks ago. I printed everything. Then I sat at the kitchen table and waited. When she came home, I didn't say a word, just slid the statements across the table. Her face went white, then red. Then came the excuses. I was going to put it back. I needed it for expenses. My kids deserve equal treatment. You're so stingy with money. I asked her one question. Where is it? Silence. Where is the money, Veronica? That's when she broke down and admitted she'd been sending it to her ex-husband because he was struggling and threatening to take her to court for more child support. Rather than use our money or get a job herself, she stole from my children. I told her she had 48 hours to figure out how to return every penny or I'd be calling the police. She laughed, actually laughed. Said I'd never do that to the mother of her children, and she knew her rights as my wife. I'm done. Meeting with a divorce attorney tomorrow and a criminal attorney after that. She's still at her sister's, texting me alternating between threats and apologies. My kids don't know yet. How do I tell them that the money their grandparents saved for their future is gone? Update 1. The last 72 hours have been insane. Thank you to everyone who told me to act fast. You were right. First thing Monday morning, I met with a divorce attorney. Brought all the bank statements, documentation showing she was added as a co-trustee, and proof of the withdrawals. Attorney's face was grim. Said financial abuse of children's trust funds during marriage is serious, but prosecuting spouses is complicated. Then I met with the bank. Turns out she hadn't just been withdrawing cash, she'd been writing checks to her ex-husband Derek directly from the trust accounts. The bank had copies of everything. Here's where it gets worse. I called Derek to find out if he'd return the money. His response? What money? Veronica hasn't given me anything extra. So I hired a forensic accountant. Within 24 hours, they found it. $23,000 in cash withdrawals, untraceable. $30,000 in checks made out to cash, deposited into an account she opened in just her name. $34,000 in checks to various LLCs that trace back to her brother-in-law, sister's husband. She wasn't giving money to her struggling ex. She was funneling it to her sister's family to hide it. When I confronted her via text with this info, she went ballistic. Showed up at the house at 2 a.m., pounding on doors, screaming that I was financially abusing her by not sharing the trust funds. Woke up the entire neighborhood. I called the police. She told them I was stealing from her children and holding money hostage. Officer asked for documentation. I showed him everything. The trust documents, clearly stating the funds were for my children only. The withdrawals, her signatures. She was told to leave the property. As she was getting in her car, she screamed, "I'll make sure you never see my kids again. They'll hate you for what you're doing to their mother." The next morning, my attorney filed emergency petition to freeze all marital assets, police report for theft, divorce papers citing financial misconduct. But here's the kicker. Remember those LLCs the money went to? Her brother-in-law Ramon runs a business consulting company. Very convenient that Veronica suddenly needed lots of consulting services that required payment from children's trust funds. My forensic accountant is now working with law enforcement. This isn't just theft, it's an organized scheme. Update 2. The entitlement has reached astronomical levels. Veronica hired an attorney, some bargain basement guy, who apparently told her she could claim the trust funds were marital assets since we were married when she was added as trustee. He sent a letter demanding half the remaining trust funds in the divorce, spousal support, child support for her 2 kids who aren't mine, the house, plus $100 for emotional distress. My attorney actually laughed, sent back a simple response: criminal charges pending for theft from minors' trust funds. That's when the dirty trick started. Trick 1, she called my employer claiming I was embezzling and financially unstable. Thank God I'd already given HR a heads up about the divorce. They documented her call and sent me a copy. Trick 2, she tried to empty our joint checking account. Joke's on her. I'd already removed all but $100 after my attorney advised it. She got $100 and a declined debit card at Target. Trick 3, started telling everyone in our social circle that I was hiding money from her kids and being an evil stepfather. Several mutual friends reached out asking what was really going on. I responded to exactly one person, our neighbor Deb, who's known my kids since we moved in. Showed her one single bank statement showing a $15,000 withdrawal from my daughter's college fund. Word spread fast after that. Then came the extinction the complete meltdown. Veronica and her sister Gloria showed up at my kids' school, told the office they were picking them up for a family emergency. Thank God I'd already notified the school about the situation. Security was called. They were escorted off property. That night, I get a call from an unknown number. It's Ramon, the brother-in-law. "Hey man, this is all a big misunderstanding. Veronica invested that money in my business for the kids' future. I can show you the paperwork. Let's meet and sort this out." I recorded the entire call, legal in my state. Told him all communication goes through attorneys. He got aggressive. "You're making a big mistake. I have connections. This won't end well for you if you don't drop this." "Are you threatening me?" "I'm just saying, accidents happen. Be smart." I went straight to the police station with the recording. Turns out Ramon has a record: fraud, embezzlement, theft. The detective's eyes lit up when I showed him the LLC paperwork and bank transfers. They opened a formal investigation that night. Update 3. Everything exploded when Veronica's parents got involved. Gerald and Patricia are old school, religious, very proper people. They've always been kind to me and adored my kids. Veronica had been telling them I was going through a midlife crisis and abandoning the family. They called asking to meet for coffee to talk sense into me. I agreed, but brought something with me. A folder containing every bank statement showing the withdrawals, the canceled checks to Ramon's LLCs, the police report, the recording of Ramon threatening me. I'll never forget Patricia's face as she read through everything. Gerald had to help her to a chair. She stole from children? From Lily and Noah's college funds? When I confirmed and showed them the total, $87,000, Patricia started crying. Gerald's face turned purple. "Where is this money now?" he asked. I explained about Ramon, the fake LLCs, the consulting services. That's when Patricia dropped a bomb. Ramon asked us to invest in his new business venture 6 months ago, said he had secured significant funding and could guarantee 20% returns. My stomach dropped. "How much did you give him?" $50,000. The pieces clicked. Veronica wasn't just stealing from my kids, she was part of a scheme to defraud her own parents too. Gerald immediately called his attorney. Within 48 hours, they'd frozen a trust they'd set up for Veronica, demanded Ramon return their investment, hired their own investigator. That's when things went nuclear. Veronica showed up at my work with her kids, causing a scene in the lobby. Security had to escort her out while she screamed about me destroying her family, and her kids cried. I felt horrible for Jade and Aiden. None of this was their fault. That night, Gerald called me. Ramon had been arrested. Turns out the investigation uncovered a whole web of fraud, fake businesses, forged documents, multiple victims, and Veronica's name was all over the paperwork as a consultant. The next morning, she was arrested at Gloria's house. Final update. The dust has settled, and the truth has destroyed Veronica's carefully constructed life. The investigation revealed 11 different victims totaling $400,000 in fraud. Veronica was listed as secretary-treasurer on all Ramon's fake LLCs. She received consulting fees totaling $127,000 over 18 months. $87,000 came from my kids' trust funds, the rest from other victims. She was charged with theft from minors, fraud, money laundering, conspiracy. Her parents bailed her out, but with conditions. She had to move back home, surrender her passport, and give them power of attorney to help recover assets. The money? Here's what was recovered. $43,000 from Ramon's accounts, frozen by police. $15,000 from Veronica's secret account. $30,000 from sale of Ramon's boat and motorcycle. Gerald and Patricia liquidated Veronica's trust, $40,000, and gave it to me. Total, $128,000. More than enough to restore the trust funds and cover legal fees. The divorce was finalized last week. She got her personal belongings, her car that she's still making payments on, supervised visitation with her kids, who now live with Derek full-time. A felony record I got, the house, full custody of my kids, restoration of their trust funds, a restraining order. The saddest part? Jade and Aiden. They're good kids who got caught in their mother's greed. Derek, who turned out to be a decent guy just trying to raise his kids, has them in therapy. I told him they're welcome in my home anytime. They were part of our family for 4 years, and none of this is their fault. Gerald and Patricia visit my kids regularly now. They're devastated by what their daughter did, but determined to maintain a relationship with Lily and Noah. Last week, Patricia brought photo albums of my late wife from when she was young, pictures I'd never seen. My daughter cried happy tears. Veronica? She's awaiting trial, working at a fast food place, and living in her childhood bedroom at 35. Last I heard, she was still telling people I set her up and overreacted to a misunderstanding. No accountability, no remorse, just endless victimhood. My kids know the truth now, age-appropriately explained. They're hurt but resilient. Their trust funds are whole again, plus some. They'll be able to go to college debt-free, just like their mom wanted. Sometimes the best revenge isn't elaborate. It's just letting entitled people face the natural consequences of their choices. Veronica thought she was smarter than everyone else, thought she could steal from children and manipulate her way out of it. She thought wrong. Quick final update. Veronica was convicted on all charges. 2 to 5 years prison, ordered to pay restitution to all victims. During sentencing, she blamed everyone but herself. Me, Ramon, her parents, the system. The judge wasn't impressed. Gerald and Patricia have set up small college funds for Jade and Aiden. They said it's what grandparents do, and those kids shouldn't suffer for their mother's crimes. My kids are doing well. Lily just made honor roll, and Noah's soccer team made it to state championships. Their trust funds are secure, in accounts Veronica will never touch again. To anyone dealing with financial abuse, document everything. Act quickly. Don't let guilt stop you from protecting your children's future. And never, ever, Add someone to your kids' accounts just to keep the peace. Peace isn't worth $87,000 and your children's futures. My fiancé said, your family drama isn't my problem. When my brother needed help, I said, you're absolutely right. Then her sister got arrested and I used her exact words. She called me heartless while begging for help. I, 29 male, need to get this off my chest because I'm being called every name in the book right now. And honestly, I'm sleeping just fine. Been with Monica, 27, for 4 years, engaged for 6 months. She's always been big on boundaries. Her favorite phrase is, not my circus, not my monkeys. Cool with me, I'm pretty independent too. My younger brother Luis, 24, has had a rough go. Not addiction or anything dramatic, just bad luck. Lost his job when his company downsized, girlfriend left him, then his landlord sold the building and gave everyone 30 days to move. Kid was drowning. 3 weeks ago, Luis called me. He'd been living in his car for a week, too proud to ask for help sooner. Asked if he could crash with us for a month while he got back on his feet. He had 2 job interviews lined up. Talked to Monica that night, explained the situation, said Luis just needed a couch for a few weeks. Her response? Your family drama isn't my problem, Jerome. We've discussed this, I don't do family bailouts. He's not asking you for anything, just me letting him sleep on our couch. It's my space too. And honestly, if Luis managed his life better, he wouldn't be in this situation. Poor planning on his part doesn't constitute an emergency on mine. I sat there kinda stunned. He lost his job in layoffs, that's not poor planning. Everyone should have 6 months of expenses saved. That's just adulting 101. Not everyone can afford that, Monica. She rolled her eyes. Look, I'm not trying to be mean, but I've worked hard to build our life here. I don't want it disrupted by your brother's problems. If you want to help him, get him a motel room or something. But he's not staying here. A motel for a month would cost thousands. Then that's what helping him costs. Your family, your problem, your money. Here's the thing, Monica makes good money as a marketing director. I do okay as an electrician. We keep finances separate, split bills 50-50. The apartment is in both our names. I stared at her for a long moment. You're really gonna make me choose between helping my brother and keeping peace with you? I'm not making you choose anything. I'm stating my boundary. Your family drama isn't my problem. If you can't respect that, maybe we need to reconsider if we're compatible. That hit different. Threatening the relationship over my homeless brother. You're absolutely right, I said, real calm. My family isn't your problem. She smiled, kissed my cheek. I knew you'd understand. That's why I love you. You're so rational. Called Luis back. Couldn't let my baby brother sleep in his car. Paid for 2 weeks at an extended stay motel out of my savings. Cost me $1,400. Helped him move his stuff from his car, bought him groceries, gave him some interview clothes that fit. Monica found out when she saw my bank app open. I was checking my balance, not hiding anything. You seriously paid for a motel? My family? My problem, my money. Just like you said. She seemed annoyed but dropped it. Luis nailed one of his interviews. Started his new job the next week. He's crashing with a coworker now, paying rent and everything. Kid's gonna be fine. But here's where it gets interesting. Last Tuesday, 2 a.m., Monica's phone starts going crazy. Her sister Vanessa, 31, calling over and over. Monica finally answers. I can hear Vanessa sobbing through the phone. She's been arrested. DUI, but not just any DUI. She hit a parked car and tried to leave the scene. Someone saw and called the cops. Monica's panicking, getting dressed, saying we need to go bail her out. We? I asked, still in bed. Yes, we. Get up, she needs help. Your family drama isn't my problem, Monica. She froze, turned to look at me like I'd grown a second head. Are you serious right now? Dead serious. Poor planning on Vanessa's part doesn't constitute an emergency on mine. She's in jail. And Luis was homeless. You told me to handle it myself. I'm just respecting your boundaries. This is different. How? She made a mistake. She needs help. Luis lost his job in layoffs. Vanessa chose to drink and drive. If anyone's responsible for their situation, it's her. Monica stood there, mouth open, then started yelling. You're really gonna be petty right now? My sister is in jail. I'm not being petty. I'm being consistent. Your family, your problem, your money. Bail bondsman takes credit cards. She called me every name imaginable, then stormed out. Came back at 8 a.m., exhausted. Turns out Vanessa's bail was set at $15,000. Monica had to put up $1,500 for the bondsman. But wait, there's more. Update 1. Y'all asked for an update, so here we go. The entitlement has reached new heights. After the bail situation, Monica gave me the silent treatment for 3 days. Then Vanessa's court date got scheduled, and reality hit. She needs a lawyer. A DUI with property damage and fleeing the scene? That's serious charges. Monica came to me Thursday night, all sweet, made my favorite dinner, opened a bottle of wine. Babe, we need to talk about Vanessa's situation. Your family, your problem, remember? Her face tightened. Jerome, this is serious. She could go to prison. Then she should get a lawyer. Lawyers cost $10,000 minimum for this kind of case. She doesn't have that. Sounds like a her problem. Monica slammed her wine glass down. I can't afford that either. Not after the bail. Maybe Vanessa should have thought about that before driving drunk. You're being cruel. I'm using your exact logic. How is this cruel when it's exactly what you told me about Luis? She tried a different approach. Look, I know what I said about Luis was harsh, but this is different. Vanessa could lose her job, her apartment, everything. Luis did lose his job and apartment, and he didn't even commit a crime. Can you stop bringing up Luis? Can you stop being a hypocrite? Fight got ugly. She accused me of holding a grudge, being manipulative, not caring about her family. I pulled up the voice memo I'd made of our conversation about Luis. Yeah, I recorded it after she threatened our relationship. Seemed smart at the time. Played it back for her. Her own voice. Your family drama isn't my problem. She actually tried to grab my phone to delete it. I stopped her. That's different context. It's literally the same situation, except your sister committed an actual crime. Monica's parents, Roberto and Diana, called me the next day. They've always liked me, treated me like a son. Roberto, Jerome, we heard you're refusing to help with Vanessa's situation. I'm applying Monica's boundary consistently. Family drama stays with that family. Diana, but you're engaged. You're practically family. Monica made it very clear when my brother was homeless that family problems are individual responsibilities. I'm respecting that boundary. Roberto got quiet. She refused to help Luis? Guess Monica hadn't mentioned that part. Luis was living in his car. Monica said it wasn't her problem and threatened to reconsider our engagement if I let him stay with us. Dead silence. We didn't know that. Ask her about it. They hung up. An hour later, Monica came home furious. You told my parents about Luis? They asked why I wouldn't help. I explained I was following your rules. You're trying to turn them against me. I'm telling the truth. If the truth makes you look bad, that's on you. Saturday, Vanessa showed up at our apartment. She looked rough, hadn't been sleeping, stress eating, the works. Vanessa, Jerome, please, I know Monica was wrong about Luis, but I'm desperate. I could lose everything. You should have thought about that before driving drunk. I made one mistake. One mistake that could have killed someone. Luis's mistake was working for a company that downsized. You're really gonna ruin my life over a petty grudge? I'm not ruining anything. You ruined it when you got behind the wheel drunk, and it's not a grudge, it's consistency. She started crying. Monica came out, comforting her, glaring at me. Monica, you're heartless. No, I'm exactly as heartless as you were 3 weeks ago. Same energy, different target. Vanessa left. Monica packed a bag, said she was staying with her parents to figure things out. Take your time, I said, but rent's due in a week. Your half is $1,100. She slammed the door so hard the frame shook. Update 2. Monica moved back in after 4 days at her parents' place. Turns out they weren't as sympathetic as she expected after learning about Luis. But the real entertainment started when Vanessa's case moved forward. Her public defender advised her to plead guilty for a lighter sentence. Vanessa freaked, insisted she needed a real lawyer. Started a family group chat. I'm still in it for some reason, begging everyone to contribute. The relatives were splitting into camps, some saying everyone should help, others saying Vanessa made her bed. Monica's cousin Antonio chimed in. Didn't Monica just refuse to help Jerome's homeless brother? Why should we help Vanessa? The tea was spilled. Turns out Roberto and Diana told everyone at Sunday dinner. Monica was getting roasted in the family group chat. Monica's aunt, So family only matters when it's your family? Her brother Carlos. Luis was homeless and you said not your problem? Cold. Monica tried damage control. That was different. We have boundaries. Antonio, boundaries for his family but not yours? That's not boundaries. That's just selfish. Then Vanessa, in desperation, did something incredibly stupid. She posted on social media asking for donations for her legal fees. Made herself sound like a victim of circumstances. Someone, not me, I swear, commented with the police report details. DUI, property damage, fleeing the scene. The post backfired spectacularly. Her job saw it. Fired her for violating their social media policy and the morality clause. She worked at a nonprofit. Monica came home crying. Vanessa lost her job. Consequences. She's gonna lose her apartment. Like Luis did? Stop bringing up Luis. Stop being a hypocrite. She threw a plate at the wall. I started recording on my phone. You're destroying my family. Vanessa destroyed herself. I'm just not cushioning her fall. I'll never forgive you for this. You threatened to end our engagement over my homeless brother. I'm supposed to care about your forgiveness? Then came the ultimatum. Either you help Vanessa or we're done. I laughed, actually laughed. Monica, we were done the moment you looked me in the eye and told me my brother sleeping in his car wasn't your problem. I just stayed to watch you face your own standards. You stayed to get revenge. I stayed because I paid half the rent and I don't break leases. But sure, watching you squirm has been a bonus. She moved out that night. Officially. Yesterday, Vanessa took a plea deal. 6 months license suspension, probation, community service, mandatory AA meetings, and $5,000 in fines and restitution. No jail time, lucky her. But without a job and with a fresh DUI on her record? She's moving back with Roberto and Diana. Monica's living there too now. I kept the apartment. Luis actually moved in as my roommate once Monica left. His new job is going great. He's paying half the rent, and he's the best roommate I've ever had. Does his dishes, keeps the place clean, and doesn't tell me that family isn't important. Monica texted me this morning, you destroyed everything over petty revenge. I replied, no, I applied your boundary consistently. Your family drama isn't my problem, remember? I hate you. Your emotions aren't my problem either. Blocked her after that. Final update. Wasn't planning to update again, but the conclusion is too perfect. Monica tried to salvage things. Not with me, that ship sailed, but with her reputation. Started telling everyone I was abusive, controlling, that I manipulated the situation. Her mistake? She forgot about the voice recording. When her friend Jasmine texted me calling me trash for abandoning Monica in her time of need, I sent her the recording. Monica's own voice. Your family drama isn't my problem. Jasmine went quiet. Then, oh, she didn't mention that part. Word spread. Monica's friend group split. Half thought she got what she deserved, half supported her. The supportive half got smaller when they learned the full timeline, that she threatened our engagement over my homeless brother, but expected immediate help for her drunk driving sister. The apartment lease came up for renewal. I debated keeping it, but Luis and I decided to upgrade. Found a nice 2-bedroom place closer to his work. He's been promoted already. Kid's brilliant when given a chance. Moving day, Monica showed up. Still had her tea, lease wasn't up yet. I want to talk. About what? Us. We can work through this. There is no us. Jerome, I know I was wrong about Luis, but you were so cruel about Vanessa. I treated Vanessa exactly how you taught me to treat family in crisis. If that was cruel, what does that make you? She started crying. I loved you. You loved having me. There's a difference. Someone who loves you doesn't threaten to leave when your brother is sleeping in his car. I was just trying to protect our space. And I was just protecting my standards. Turns out they're higher than yours. She left her tea and walked out. Last week, Roberto called me, wanted to apologize for the whole mess, said I was right to stand my ground, mentioned that Vanessa's living with them is challenging. She's entitled, doesn't help around the house, complains constantly about her unfair situation. She keeps saying if you'd helped, none of this would have happened, he said, sounding tired. If she hadn't driven drunk, none of this would have happened. I know, we know. Monica defends her though. They deserve each other then. He chuckled sadly. We liked you, Jerome. Wish things had been different. Things could have been different. Monica chose for them not to be. Found out through mutual friends that Monica's been on dating apps. Her bio says she's looking for someone family-oriented with strong values. The irony actually made me laugh out loud. Luis and I are doing great. He's dating someone nice, saving money, thriving. We have dinner together most Sundays, just brothers catching up. He thanked me last week for having his back when no one else would. Always, I told him. That's what family does. Monica never understood that. No, she thought family was only important when it was hers. Her loss, bro. Yeah, it really was. Looking back, Monica did me a favor. She showed me who she really was. Someone who preaches boundaries, but only when they benefit her. Someone who sees my family as disposable but hers as precious. Someone who threatens relationship-ending ultimatums to get her way. The trash took itself out. Luis asked me if I regret how things went down. Honestly, my only regret is not seeing Monica's true colors sooner. Could have saved myself an engagement ring, but watching her face her own standards, seeing her realize boundaries work both ways, having her parents understand exactly who their daughter is, worth every penny of that ring, I'll never get back. Vanessa's still dealing with her DUI consequences. Monica's still single. Luis just got another promotion. And me? I'm at peace. Turns out when you stand by your principles and protect the people who actually matter, life has a way of working out. My family drama wasn't Monica's problem. Turns out her family drama isn't mine either. Funny how that works. My girlfriend declared, "It's either your gaming friends or me, choose now." After I played for an hour, I said, "Easy choice." Then I packed her things while still on voice chat. My friends heard everything and hosted a party for my Freedom Day celebration. I, 28 male, am sitting in my apartment right now, beer in hand, still processing what just went down. My now ex-girlfriend Melody, 26, is blowing up my phone from her sister's place, but I'm done. Completely done. Been together 2 years, living together for 8 months. She moved into my apartment, my name on the lease, I pay the rent, she chips in for groceries sometimes. That's important for later. So here's what happened. I work as a network admin. Pretty standard 9-to-5 stuff. I game with the same group of guys I've known since high school. We're talking 12 plus years of friendship here. There's Diego, Rashid, Tommy, and Jerome. We play twice a week, Wednesday and Saturday nights, usually from 8 p.m. to maybe 11 or midnight. Not excessive. Not neglecting anyone. Just maintaining friendships like a normal person. Melody knew this from day one. Hell, she thought it was cute at first. Love a man who maintains his friendships, she said. That changed about 3 months after she moved in. Started small. Sighing when I put on my headset. Making plans for Wednesday nights, then acting surprised I had gaming night. Picking fights right before I'd log on. Classic stuff. Tonight was Saturday. I'd spent the entire day with her. Farmer's market in the morning, lunch at her favorite spot, even sat through 2 episodes of that reality show about people getting married to strangers. At 8 p.m. I kissed her on the forehead and said I was hopping on with the guys. She lost it. Again? You were just on Wednesday. Yeah, like every Wednesday and Saturday for the past 12 years. This is ridiculous. You're almost 30. And? That's when she stood up, hands on her hips, and delivered the ultimatum. It's either your gaming friends or me. Choose, now. I looked at her for maybe 3 seconds. Easy choice. Put on my headset, booted up Discord. The boys were already on. Yo, what's good? Diego said. Give me 1 sec, guys, just need to handle something. And I started packing her stuff. While still on voice chat, she followed me around the apartment shrieking. What are you doing? You said choose. I chose. You should probably call your sister. You're choosing video games over your girlfriend? No, I'm choosing friends I've had for 12 years over someone who makes me choose. The guys could hear everything. Jerome muted himself, later told me he was dying laughing. Rashid was like, bro, is everything good? Yeah, man, just taking out the trash. Give me 20 minutes. I grabbed her 2 suitcases from the closet, started filling them. Clothes, toiletries, her jewelry box, the stuffed animals on the bed. She was alternating between screaming at me and trying to grab stuff out of the suitcases. You can't kick me out. I live here. You're not on the lease. You're a guest who's overstayed her welcome. I'll call the cops. Please do. Explain to them how your boyfriend is packing your things after you demanded he end 12-year friendships. Tommy unmuted. Dude, we can hear all this. You need backup? Nah, I'm good. Just start the warm-up without me. Took exactly 18 minutes to pack everything she owned, set the suitcases by the door. She was now cry-screaming about how I was heartless, how I was throwing away 2 years, how I'd regret this. Your sister's on her way? I asked. This isn't over. Yeah, it is. Leave your key on the counter. She threw the key at me instead. It hit the wall. Diego definitely heard that because he went, yo! After she left, I sat back down at my computer. Deep breath. All right, boys, let's run it. And we played until 2 a.m., best session we'd had in months. Update 1. Thought the drama was over. I was wrong. So wrong. Sunday was quiet, blocked Melody on everything except email, needed a paper trail. The boys and I were cracking jokes in our group chat about me being liberated. Jerome started calling it Freedom Day, the day I chose gaming over games. Monday morning, I wake up to 73 emails. All from Melody, using different email addresses. Everything from I overreacted, please talk to me, to you're a pathetic loser who will die alone, to I'm pregnant. She's not. We were careful and she had her period literally last week. But the best email, forwarded to my personal and work email. An itemized bill. For services rendered during relationship. I kid you not, this girl calculated. Emotional labor. $500 a month, 24 months equals $12,000. Cooking services. 20 meal x approximately 200 meals equals $4,000. She cooked maybe twice a month and usually burned stuff. Cleaning services, 100 hours a week, 35 weeks equals 3,500. I have a cleaning lady who comes bi-weekly. Relationship coaching, 2,000, because apparently she was teaching me how to be a boyfriend. Social event planning, $1,500. She dragged me to her friends' parties. Total, $23,000. She wanted me to Venmo her $23,000 for 2 years of uncompensated labor. I screenshot it, sent it to the boys. Discord was exploding. Tommy was like, relationship coaching? Bro, she coached you right out of the relationship. But wait, it gets better. Tuesday morning, I'm at work when I get a LinkedIn notification. Melody had messaged my boss. My actual boss, director of IT at my company. The message said I was emotionally unstable, that I'd violently evicted her, and that the company should evaluate if someone with such poor judgment should have access to sensitive systems. My boss, Craig, called me into his office. I'm thinking I'm screwed. Instead, he shows me the message and goes, "Is this the girl you were dating? The one who complained about the company picnic being on a Saturday because, and I quote, corporate events are wage theft? That's her. Yeah, I'm blocking her. You good? Never better. Cool. Also, my wife wants to know if you're free for dinner Sunday. She's got a friend she wants you to meet. Tell her thanks, but I'm taking a break from dating." But Melody wasn't done. Oh no. I get home Tuesday night to find a note on my door. From building management. There's been a complaint about illegal subletting. Melody claimed she was a tenant who'd been illegally evicted and wanted the building to force me to let her back in. I went straight to the office with my lease, bank statements showing I pay full rent, and screenshots of her emails admitting she was my ex-girlfriend. The building manager, Rosa, looked at everything and said, "This the same girl who complained about the maintenance guy being too loud at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday. That's her. She's banned from the property. I'll notify security." Wednesday night rolls around, gaming night. I log on and the boys have changed our Discord server name to Freedom Fighters. They'd even made a custom emoji of broken chains. We're about an hour into our session when Rashid goes, "Yo, pause. Check Instagram." Melody had made a post, a long post, about how she'd been gaslit into accepting gaming addiction, how I'd chosen virtual friends over real love, and how she was healing from techno trauma. The hashtags were incredible. #gamingwidow, #digitalabuse, narcissistic nerd. But here's the thing, she'd blocked me but forgot to block Tommy's girlfriend Lisa. Lisa screenshotted everything and sent it to our group chat. The post had maybe 30 likes, mostly from her echo chamber friends. But the comments weren't going how she expected. One of her coworkers commented, "Didn't you say he only played twice a week?" Another person, "My husband games daily and we're fine. Maybe it's not the gaming?" She dirty deleted within 2 hours. Thursday, things escalated. I get a call from my apartment complex's security. There's a woman in the parking lot claiming someone stole her car. It's Melody. She's telling security that I have her car in my parking spot. The car in question? My 2019 Honda Civic that I bought. That's in my name. That I let her drive sometimes. Security calls me down. I bring the title, registration, insurance, and loan documents. Yeah, still paying it off. All in my name. Melody's there in her sister's car screaming that we bought it together. Ma'am, the security guard says, do you have any documentation showing ownership? We're in a relationship. Common law marriage. We don't have common law marriage in this state, I said. Also, we dated for 2 years and broke up 5 days ago. Security told her to leave or they'd call the cops. She peeled out so fast she scraped her sister's bumper on the parking garage wall. The boys were loving this. We'd turned it into a drinking game. Every time she tried something new, we'd take a shot. By Thursday night, we were planning an actual party. This Saturday, Diego said. Freedom Day party, my place. I'll bring wings, said Jerome. I got beer, added Tommy. I'll make my famous dip, Rashid chimed in. And that's how Freedom Day became an official holiday in our friend group. Update 2 Saturday night. Freedom Day party at Diego's place. About 15 people showed up, the core gaming crew plus their partners and a few other friends. Diego's girlfriend Maria made a cake. An actual cake that said congratulations on your liberation, with a little fondant ball and chain that was broken in half. I'm 3 beers in, feeling good, when my phone buzzes. Email from an unknown address with the subject line, legal notice. Melody had hired a lawyer. Well, hired is generous. It was one of those legal document websites where you pay $50 for a template. She was demanding 1. $23,000 for services rendered, the same BS list. 2. $5,000 for emotional distress. 3. Half the value of shared assets, my TV, my couch, my everything. 4. Visitation rights to my cat. I don't have a cat, she's allergic to cats. We never had a cat. The legal notice was full of typos and referenced laws from a different state. I forwarded it to my cousin who's a paralegal. She texted back, LMO, this isn't even formatted correctly. Also, she spelled defendant wrong every single time. But the party must go on. We're playing beer pong when Lisa goes, oh my god, check her stories. Melody was at a club, clearly drunk, posting videos of herself with random guys. The captions were variations of living my best life and upgrade season. But in one video, you could hear her crying in the bathroom stall after saying he was supposed to come back by now. Her sister messaged me on Facebook, hadn't blocked her yet. Can you please just talk to her? She won't leave my apartment and she's eating all my food. Remember when she gave me an ultimatum? Choices have consequences. She says you manipulated her into saying that. I have it on recording. My Discord was on. How much would you pay me to change the locks? Nothing. That's your problem now. Sunday morning, still recovering from the party, I get a notification from my bank. Someone tried to make a purchase using my credit card number, the one Melody had for emergencies when we were together. Called the bank, reported it as fraud, got a new card. The purchase she tried to make? A $3,000 handbag. The billing address she used? Her sister's apartment. The bank's fraud department said they'd handle it. Monday, I'm back at work, living my life when Craig calls me in again. Someone called HR about you, he says. My heart drops. Said you were a dangerous predator who manipulates women through technology. They claimed to be a concerned citizen, but accidentally gave their name at the end. Melody something? That's my ex. Yeah, HR flagged it as harassment. They've documented it in case she escalates. Also, they wanted me to remind you about the company's employee assistance program if you need to talk to someone about stalking situations. Is this considered stalking? Attempting to contact you through multiple emails, your workplace, your apartment management, your financial institutions, and making false reports? Yeah, that's stalking. Wednesday comes around, gaming night. I log on and Diego immediately goes, Bro, check your Twitter. I don't have Twitter, but apparently Melody does. And she'd posted a thread about how gaming destroys relationships, my story. It was 42 tweets long, 42. It included such gems as, he would abandon me for hours, 2 gaming sessions a week. His friends encouraged the addiction. We've known each other since freshman year. I was competing with pixels for attention. She was on TikTok 6 hours a day. The gaming community is a toxic cesspool of misogyny. Lisa and Maria are literally part of our Discord. The thread had 12 retweets. Most of them were quote tweets roasting her. One said, "Ma'am, this is less time than my book club meets." But the best response came from Jerome's wife Patricia, who never tweets. "Hey, I'm married to one of those toxic gamers. They helped raise $3,000 for my nephew's cancer treatment through their gaming streams. Also, twice a week isn't an addiction. It's called having friends. Touch grass." Thursday, the apartment drama continued. Melody showed up with a U-Haul claiming she had items to pick up. Security called me immediately. "I gave her everything when she left," I told them. "She says she has furniture here." The furniture she never paid for? That was here before she moved in, that furniture? Security turned her away. She left, but not before spray painting "asshole" on the U-Haul and trying to claim I did it. Unfortunately for her, the parking garage has cameras. U-Haul charged her for vandalism. Final update. It's been a month since Freedom Day, and life has been beautifully quiet for the past 2 weeks. But I wanted to share the conclusion because it's something. 2 weeks ago, Melody's sister reached out one final time. "She's gone completely off the rails. Can you please just give her closure?" Against my better judgment, I agreed to one phone call. Recorded it, obviously. The call started with her crying about how she missed me, missed us, made a mistake. Then it shifted to anger about how I ruined her life. Then bargaining. She'd allow me to game once a month if I took her back. When I said no to everything, she dropped this bomb. "I'm already in a new relationship anyway. He's better than you. He has his own company. Good for you. Goodbye." Wait, don't you want to know who it is? Not really. It's Brandon. Brandon, her best friend's boyfriend, the one who just proposed 3 months ago. Does Ashley know? Ashley being the best friend. She will. He's leaving her for me. I hung up and texted Ashley a heads up. What followed was incredible. Ashley called me an hour later. Turns out Brandon had been texting Melody, but not for the reason she thought. He'd been gathering evidence because Melody had been harassing Ashley too, claiming Ashley stole her wedding plans and owed her money for inspiring her engagement. Brandon and Ashley had been documenting everything to get a restraining order. Melody thought the texts were flirting. They were actually him getting her to admit, in writing, to various acts of harassment. The best part? Ashley is a lawyer. A real one, not a template website one. Ashley sent Melody a cease and desist letter that was absolutely beautiful. Professional, thorough, and included screenshots of Melody admitting to plans to ruin Ashley's wedding and take what's mine. Melody's response? She tried to crash Ashley's wedding dress fitting. Got arrested for trespassing and disturbing the peace. Her sister texted me. "She's in jail. I'm not bailing her out. Thanks for the 2 years you kept her occupied." But here's the real conclusion. Last Saturday, exactly 1 month after the ultimatum, we had our second Freedom Day party. Smaller this time, just the core group. We were sharing updates when Tommy goes, "So I have news." Turns out Tommy's been dealing with something similar. His girlfriend had been gradually trying to isolate him from us too. Seeing how I handled Melody gave him the courage to set boundaries. She didn't take it well and left. "Welcome to the Freedom Club," I said. "It needs a better name," Rashid laughed. We spent the rest of the night gaming, eating pizza, and realizing that we'd all, at various points, dated people who tried to separate us. But here we were, 12 years later, still gaming every Wednesday and Saturday. Diego raised his beer. "To choosing the people who choose you back." "To real friends," added Jerome. "To Freedom Days," Tommy chimed in. "To never having to choose," I finished. As for Melody, last I heard through the grapevine, she got 30 days in jail, suspended, and community service. Ashley and Brandon's restraining order was approved. Her sister kicked her out. She moved back with her parents. She started a YouTube channel about surviving narcissistic gamers that has 47 subscribers and comments turned off. My gaming setup has never run better. My apartment is peaceful. My friends are solid. And every Wednesday and Saturday at 8 p.m. I put on my headset and remember that I made the right choice. The cat she demanded visitation rights for? Still don't have one, but I'm thinking about getting one and naming it Freedom. Some people think I was harsh, that I should have tried to compromise. But here's the thing, it was never about the gaming. It was about control, about isolation, about making me choose between parts of my life that shouldn't be in competition. Real partners don't make you choose between them and your friends. They join the Discord server and become part of the crew. Lisa and Maria are proof of that. Patricia too. So if someone ever gives you an ultimatum about harmless hobbies and decade-old friendships, remember that the choice is easy. Choose the people who've been there, choose the ones who'll still be there. Choose freedom, and maybe throw a party about it. GG everyone, thanks for reading. P.S. The boys want me to add that our Discord server is not accepting applications from single women trying to fix us. We're good as is. She smirked. I deleted your game files, grow up, thinking it was funny. I said, you're right, time to grow. What I deleted from her life made her rage cry for days. I, 28 male, am sitting here still processing what happened last week. Been with Natalie, 26, for 3 years, living together for 1. So here's the setup. I'm a network admin, work standard 9 to 5, make decent money. I game maybe 10 to 12 hours a week, couple hours after work to decompress, longer sessions on weekends. Nothing crazy. I'm talking about single-player RPGs mostly, some indie stuff. Not screaming into a headset at 2 a.m. or anything. Natalie always made little comments about it. Still playing your little games? Or must be nice to have so much free time. Meanwhile, she binge-watches entire seasons of reality TV in one sitting. But whatever, we all have our things, right? Last Tuesday, I came home from a brutal day. Server migration went sideways, stayed late fixing it, just wanted to continue my Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough. Boot up my PC and... saves are gone, all of them. 400 plus hours across multiple games. My entire Steam folder, nuked, even my mod folders, custom configs, everything. I'm thinking maybe my drive corrupted. Running diagnostics when Natalie walks in, sees me at my computer, and just starts laughing. Finally noticed, huh? My stomach dropped. You did this? She's actually smiling. I did you a favor. You're almost 30, babe. Time to grow up. I deleted all that kiddie stuff so you can focus on adult things. You? You deleted my files? On purpose. Oh, don't be so dramatic. It's just games. I'm helping you mature. I asked her what adult things I should focus on instead. Her answer? Going out more with her friends, watching shows with her, taking her to wine bars, basically entertaining her. The kicker? She posted on her Instagram story that same morning. Helped my BF level up in real life today. #adulting goals, growth mindset. Her friends were commenting stuff like, yes, queen, and he needed that wake-up call. I didn't yell, didn't argue, just said, you're right, time to grow. She looks so proud of herself. See, I knew you'd understand once you thought about it. What she didn't know, Natalie runs an Etsy shop selling digital planners and templates. Been doing it for 2 years, makes about 2 to 3K monthly from it. Pretty good side hustle. She's always bragging about being an entrepreneur and CEO of her own business. Here's the thing about her business though, it's entirely digital, no physical products. All her templates, her customer list, her financial records, design files, everything exists on her laptop and external drive. She's mentioned backing things up someday, but never did because cloud storage is expensive and it's too complicated. She keeps her laptop in the living room, password is her dog's name plus her birth year. Real secure. That night, while she was sleeping, I did some thinking. See, unlike Natalie, I actually know how data works. I know that when you delete something, it's not really gone until it's overwritten. My games? Recoverable with the right tools. Her files? Well, update 1, holy crap, this blew up. Okay, let me tell you what happened next. Wednesday morning, I took a sick day. Natalie left for her barista job around 7 a.m. Yeah, the entrepreneur still works at a coffee shop. I recovered most of my game saves using recovery software. Took about 3 hours. Not everything came back, but probably 80% of it. While running the recovery, I had time to think. Natalie destroyed something I cared about because she decided it was childish. No discussion, no respect, just unilateral decision that her view of adulthood was the only valid one. So I decided to help her with some growth too. First, I need to explain something about Natalie's Etsy operation. She doesn't actually design most of her templates. She buys commercial licenses from design bundles, makes minor tweaks in Canva, then resells them at 500% markup. Not illegal, but definitely not the original designs by yours truly she advertises. She had about 400 active listings, 1,200 previous customers, and templates for the next 6 months already created, all sitting on her laptop and a WD external drive she bought from Target. Wednesday afternoon, I simply 1. Opened her laptop, she was logged into everything already. 2. Located her Etsy folder. 3. Moved it to the recycling bin. 4. Emptied the recycling bin. 5. Did the same on her external drive. 6. Ran a secure wipe utility on both empty spaces. Total time 15 minutes. But here's where it gets interesting. I didn't touch her actual Etsy account. All those listings still live. Orders could still come in. She just wouldn't be able to fulfill them. Natalie got home around 4 p.m. that day. I was gaming, headset on, thoroughly engaged in a raid I'd scheduled with online friends. "Seriously? Already back to this?" she said. I pulled off one ear. "What?" "The games. I thought we discussed this." "We didn't discuss anything. You deleted my property without permission." "Property? It's fake stuff in fake worlds. Grow up. Working on it," I said, and put my headset back on. She stomped off to work on her business. The scream came about 20 minutes later. "What did you do?" I paused my game. "What's wrong?" She's holding her laptop, shaking. "My files. My Etsy files, they're gone. Have you tried turning it off and on again? This isn't funny." Neither was deleting my saves. Her face went from red to white to red again. "Those were just games. This is my business. My income." "Oh, so digital things do have value?" "You vindictive piece of crap. This is completely different." "How?" "It's real money. My time isn't real. The 400 hours I put into those games aren't real." She started rage crying. "Put 'em back, now." "Can't. They're gone. Overwritten. But hey, you're helping me mature, right? Now you can focus on your barista job. That's what adults do. Work real jobs, not play with templates." She called me every name in the book. Threatened to sue me. Threatened to call the cops. I pulled up the Instagram story she'd posted about deleting my games. "Go ahead. Explain to them how you committed destruction of digital property first and bragged about it online." She locked herself in the bedroom. I heard her on the phone with someone, crying about her abusive boyfriend destroying her business. Update 2. The aftermath has been intense. So after the bedroom incident, Natalie went nuclear. Called her mom, her sister, her best friend Jordana. By Thursday morning, I had a dozen messages from various people calling me everything from petty to financially abusive. Jordana actually showed up at our apartment Thursday evening while I was making dinner. "You need to fix this," she said the moment I opened the door. "Hello to you too. Don't be cute. Natalie's business is ruined because of your little revenge plot." Natalie's business is ruined because she didn't have backups. Maybe she should have been more grown up about it? Over games? You destroyed her income over games? No, I destroyed her files over her destroying my files. The fact that she makes money from hers and I don't from mine doesn't make hers more valuable. Jordana tried to push past me into the apartment. I blocked her. She's getting orders she can't fulfill. She's going to lose her seller account. Sounds like a personal problem. You're such a child. According to Natalie, I'm finally growing up. She left, but not before saying Natalie was staying with her and I'd be hearing from a lawyer. Friday came. No lawyer, but Natalie did come by with her sister Meredith and a U-Haul. "We're here for my things," Natalie announced. "Okay." They started packing. I stayed in my room, gaming. About an hour in, Meredith barged in. "You're really just gonna sit there?" "Yes." "You destroyed her business. She destroyed my hobby." "It's not the same thing." I spun my chair around. "Meredith, your sister decided that my free time activities weren't valid and destroyed them without my consent." I responded in kind. If she wanted to discuss adult responsibilities, she could have started with backing up business-critical data. She's had to refund over $800 in orders. Wow, that's almost as much as the games she deleted were worth. That was a lie. My games maybe cost $300 total over years, but it felt good to say. As they were leaving, Natalie stopped in my doorway. "I'll never forgive you for this." "Okay. I thought you loved me. I thought you respected me. I was trying to help you." "No, you were trying to control me." "There's a difference." She started to cry again. "My shop is ruined. My reputation is destroyed. I have 1-star reviews now." Maybe you should have thought about that before you decided to play God with other people's property. I was just games. And yours were just templates. Guess we both learned something about respecting each other's digital property. The best part? Sunday night, I get a text from an unknown number. It's Natalie's mom, Patricia. You need to make this right. She's devastated. I sent back one message. She started it. I ended it. Then blocked the number. Monday morning yesterday, I got an email from Natalie. Subject line, please. The email was long, talked about how she'd lost her Etsy shop entirely now due to failure to fulfill orders and refund disputes. How she'd had to take extra shifts at the coffee shop, how everyone thinks I'm a monster. At the bottom, can you at least try to recover my files, please? I responded, I can try. My consulting rate is $150 an hour, minimum 10 hours, payment up front. She responded with a voice memo of her literally screaming. I'm keeping that one for the memories. Final update. So this is probably my last update because, well, it's over. After the screaming voice memo, Natalie went dark for a few days. Then Thursday last week, I get a knock on the door. It's a process server. I'm being sued for intentional infliction of emotional distress and destruction of business property. I wasn't even mad. I was curious. She actually did it. Here's the thing about small claims court. Yeah, that's where she filed. You need evidence. Natalie had screenshots of her empty Etsy dashboard, some text messages where I admitted to deleting her files, character witnesses, her mom and Jordana. I had her Instagram story bragging about deleting my games, text messages where she admitted to it and said I needed to grow up, screenshots of her telling friends it was hilarious, how upset I was, the actual data showing she destroyed approximately 400 hours of gameplay. But here's the beautiful part. I also had something else. See, when I recovered my game files that Wednesday, I ran the same recovery software on her laptop first, just to see what was there. And boy, did I find things. Conversations with her ex from 2 months ago. Nothing physical happened, I think, but lots of I miss us and he's so boring with his games. And maybe we should meet up. I didn't use these in court, didn't need to, because Natalie made a crucial mistake. In her filing, she claimed the templates were original artwork she created and valued them at $50,000 in lost business potential. Remember how I mentioned she bought most of them from design bundles and just tweaked them? Yeah, I had receipts. Literally, found them in her email. So when we got to court yesterday, it went like this. Judge, Miss Natalie, you're claiming $50,000 in damages? Yes, Your Honor. My original designs took years to create. And you have proof these were original designs? They were my style, my aesthetic. Your Honor, I have receipts showing she purchased the base templates from designbundles.net and graphic stock for approximately $200 total. The judge looked at Natalie. Is this true? I modified them. They became mine. Did you have the commercial rights to resell them as your own original work? Natalie went quiet. The judge then asked about my counterclaim for the destroyed games. Judge, Mr. Me, you're claiming she destroyed your property first? Yes, Your Honor. And she publicly bragged about it on social media. I showed the Instagram story. Miss Natalie, did you delete his files? They were just games. He's almost 30. That's not what I asked. Did you delete his files? Yes, but without his permission? He needed to grow up. The judge actually rubbed his temples. Final ruling, case dismissed. Both parties destroyed each other's digital property. No damages awarded to either side. We each pay our own court costs. But the judge did say something that made me smile. Miss Natalie, destroying someone's property because you disagree with their hobbies is not just immature, it's illegal. Mr. S. response was equally wrong, but understandable. You both need to grow up, but especially you, young lady. Natalie stormed out. Haven't heard from her since. The apartment is quiet now. Just me and my games. Started a new playthrough of Cyberpunk last night. Feels good. Oh, and remember those texts with her ex I found? Sent them to her new boyfriend she started posting about on Instagram this week. He deserves to know who he's dating. That's not revenge, though. That's just public service. Game over, Natalie. Edit. Since people keep asking, yes, I could have probably recovered her files if I wanted. I ran a military-grade wipe on them, though. 7 passes. Those templates are meeting Jesus at this point. Also, for everyone saying we're both toxic, yeah, probably, but she started a game she didn't understand the rules to. I just played to win. And before anyone asks, no, I don't feel bad. She killed 400 hours of my time. I killed her fake business. Seems fair to me. Currently 52 hours into my new BG3 run. Playing a paladin this time seemed fitting.